Hello, welcome to our session on dangers of a tools-first strategy. We're going to talk specifically about business intelligence, but a lot of the principles that you'll learn today can apply to a lot of other types of projects and engagements. Well, my name is Kevin Carter. I'm Director of Business Intelligence for THIncIT. We've been working in this technology for quite a while, and we've learned that there are a lot of pitfalls that most organizations really fall into this pitfall of choosing the tool first before they get even started on their business intelligence strategy. It goes something like this. Hey, we have to improve our business intelligence platform. And no problem, we'll just pick one of those really good tools out there because that's going to solve all of our problems. That's what we need the most. Well, the problem is that in this scenario, the tail wags the dog. Once you've chosen a tool, that tool then dictates most every decision from that point forward. The problem is that the tool is often a mismatch for the organization. It doesn't really provide for what it really needs and never, ever gets to a place where it produces real business value. In most of those scenarios, I call a false start because you shouldn't start your project in the wrong path. And the wrong path is to choose the tool first. So, what happens? Why do we get here? Well, the problem is that the term business intelligence has become one of the most effective marketing phrases in recent time. You're looking at a chart that shows the expected revenue in billions of dollars for 2015 through 2021. What we're finding is that organizations are tagging lots of different technologies with this business intelligence tag, and they're having success selling their product. The problem is that what they're selling and what the customer is getting are two very different things. Most customers expect to get something like this. This is the Corvette LS9 motor. It's 6.2 liter, 620 horsepower. It's about 2 to 3 times more powerful than your average daily driver car. So most organizations believe that when they buy a tool, they're getting a fully assembled, ready to go, hot rod machine that's going to deliver business value. The problem is this is what they really get. They get all the parts and pieces in a pile, and they say, hey, do it yourself. Learn how to assemble this thing and make it work so that it works best for you and your organization. Let's think it through. What do the tools really provide? Do they really provide business value? Well, you can say, okay, I want a data warehouse because I need a place to store my data, get it consolidated and cleaned up. Really important, but where's the value? I need dashboards. Hey, pretty lights, dancing colors, lines, charts, graphs. But that's just a way to look at the data. I also need to be able to do reports. We're looking at the data again. Hey, I want to be able to do self-service business intelligence. I want to use ad hoc tools. Well, that's just another way to see the data. So where's the business value? I can look at data, I can store data, but what's the value proposition? How do I know that what I'm looking at is going to provide value for me and my organization? Well, the problem is that you're only getting the foundation. You're getting what is necessary to provide value, but you're not really getting value because value comes when you know what you're trying to accomplish. You must understand, tools don't provide value, they just provide the means to achieve business value. Well, business value itself is really hard to talk about and figure out what customers want. It's really tough to define. It's a fairly informal and broad topic, and it can contain lots of components. We're talking about shareholder value, financial value. We're talking about customer value. We're talking about operations efficiency, improving employee knowledge. What do we mean when we say it provides value to my business? Well, a lot of organizations tie projects to the economic value, the ROI, which of course is the value after the investment is made of the return. So when you're looking at the returns, how can you assign the returns to the investment when it comes to business intelligence? If it's difficult to assign the returns to the investment, it's difficult to prove the ROI. I used to work at a bank, and this is how we got projects invested. We would say the ROI is going to be X million dollars over the next few years. Well, the problem is that even if the revenue increased or there were improvements in loan values or whatever that was, there isn't necessarily an attribution to the process that we took to achieve that particular objective, because there are lots of other factors that play into it. So it can be very difficult to talk about business value and business intelligence projects because of the attribution problem. Well, we need to really simplify it for our customers. We need to talk about things that make sense to them. Are we trying to increase revenue or reduce costs? Of course, if we could do both, if we could find a place where the two come together, then that would, of course, be the highest value for our customer. So don't try to tie it to any specific type of number, but tie it to things that can make sense to the customer in terms of strategy. Because if you keep the scope narrow so that you can achieve tangible results, then you can build on that success. As your maturity grows, you can expand into things that are less attributable and more intangible. But you have to start with things that you can tie closely to objectives. I want to see an improvement of 10% in my whatever, okay? So if you can find a narrow scope so that you can tie the results to the project or the engagement, then those are the ones that you really ought to pursue first, because once you've built on that success, then you can go into more and broader types of projects that have more and broader types of impact on the organization. But in all things, start small. Big fan of Poor Richard, mighty oaks from little acorns grow. So make sure that you start small in your conversations with your customers. Keep the scopes narrow. How do we make the connection? How do we explain to the customer that we want to achieve the business value that they want to achieve, that we want to align our strategy to their business value proposition? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It has to do with the communication. We have to understand how the organization creates value. Then we have to align our business intelligence strategy to the organizational strategy for value creation. Through the lens of our business intelligence platform, hopefully together create business value. The problem is most organizations come in with a separate objective than the business. The business wants to create value. The technology organization wants to deliver technology. The technology organization believes their job is done when they've delivered the technology. The customer believes the job is done when the business value has been realized. So we need to get past all of that and align our objective to the customer's business value proposition. When we're both agreeing that that is when the project is done, then we're becoming real partners with the customer in business value creation and not just another vendor, because our success is based on their success. And when that is the relationship, that mutually positive relationship is something that everyone can really get a handle on and appreciate. There's a process. Define the problem space, design the solution, develop the solution, and deliver it. And by deliver, I don't mean deliver the package and leave. We have to stay in place to make sure that the value we expected to achieve was achieved by the organization. Then take the results of that project and iterate it back through the next process, because it is an ongoing improvement paradigm. Success isn't going to instantly happen, because each time you go through the process, you're going to find things that you need to improve. So one of the things that's difficult is that our strategy has to be clearly communicated. We have to let our customers know that these engagements aren't point A to point B type engagements. That yes, we are going to deliver, and we are going to deliver value, but we want to make sure that they understand that the real value in these engagements is in the process of iterating through and improving as time moves forward, and as we iterate feedback back into our loop and create better and broader, more data, better solutions, better value. This has been our conversation on dangers of a tools first strategy. If you have any questions or you want to talk about any opportunities, feel free to contact me. The information you see on the screen. Thank you.